Hey, you! Thank you for joining me for today's internet stories. I have my fresh cup of coffee, and I hope you do too. Let's get buzzed. Let's babble. Today I messed up by burning my girlfriend's hoo-hoo. So, my girlfriend and I were getting saucy, and it was evident that we were about to clear the bases. I excused myself to go to the bathroom to wash my hands and brush my teeth. My girlfriend gets frequent UTIs and I want to minimize the risk. However, when I got to the bathroom, I discovered that there was no soap. Now, I am not incredibly smart to begin with, even less so now that I'm ready to go. I remember that there is hand sanitizer in the kitchen cupboard, and my brain does not make the next logical connection that putting hand sanitizer in someone's hoo-ha is a bad idea. So, I got back and we started doing the dirty. As my fingers made first contact, she was like, "Did you cut jalapenos? It's burning down there." And I still did not make the connection. It wasn't until about half an hour later that I realized my mistake. She still loves my dumb ass, but was not impressed. It's clear that logic was clearly out the window in this story. Someone commented saying my ex-husband actually did this to me after cutting jalapenos. Holy, it burned for hours. Moral of the story? Always think with the first brain. For those of you who don't know, here on Buzz Babble, I love my coffee. So this next story is one of the most diabolical crimes I can think of. I gave someone decaf for 5 months. I once worked in a restaurant as a senior barista when we had a new chef join. He was a complete jerk. He spoke to the front of house and kitchen porters like trash. Apparently, he used to work on some big yacht as a private chef and felt that he was entitled to be a dick. He was in his late 40s and would always hit on any young girl who was between 16 and 20. Yikes. The advances got so aggressive that he started cornering women in the kitchen while attempting to flirt with them. Yikes indeed. This guy's a friggin' creep. Myself and others brought this up to management, but they didn't care, obviously. I was out for revenge on this D-bag, and it came to me one shift. To make his 12-hour shift miserable, I was going to serve him decaf. I told the other baristas to do the same. He would regularly have 4 coffees over the course of his shift and still be yawning. I would look over at him and think, yeah, beep you prick. This is too good. This is an awesome revenge. Honestly, it has to be one of the most evil, diabolical, and outright petty stories I've read so far to date. You go, girl. Hit this scum where it hurts. I messed up by letting one rip in front of my boyfriend. I have been seeing my boyfriend for almost a year now, and he's a pretty good guy. He's just a little more proper than me. He won't fart or burp in front of me, and he probably expected the same of me. I have previously told him that I think farts are hilarious, and my family farts in front of each other all the time, as all families should, OP. My grandpa even rates them out of 10. Since my boyfriend finds it disgusting, I've hidden my full fart potential until today. We had eaten Mexican food earlier and it did not agree with me. I really had to pass gas badly, but my BF was with me in the kitchen. I thought of a diversion and asked him to take the trash out for me. He said yes and took it outside. He wasn't even gone a second when I ripped one that almost vibrated the house. I was glad he didn't witness the mass destruction originating from my pants, but then I turned around and he was staring at me from the back door. He forgot to put his shoes on and was coming back in. I've never seen such disgust on a face before, but he definitely thinks I'm nasty now. I think my grandpa would have given me a thumbs up and a 10 out of 10 on that one though. The author provides an update here. Thank you to everyone that finds farts as funny as me. But after he came back in the house from taking out the trash, he didn't even acknowledge my magnificent foghorn fart. He's probably gonna leave me now. Hey, OP, people who don't get any enjoyment from farts are really, in my opinion, missing out on life. There's this quote I heard somewhere online that makes me laugh. It goes something along the lines of like, people who don't laugh at farts are choosing to live life with the exact same amount of farts without any of the joy. I think I botched that, but you get the idea. Come on, boyfriend, don't be a killjoy. Just let it rip, man. This girl sounds like an absolute gem. You keep farting. You keep farting those magnificent foghorn farts there, girl. Farts aren't funny. My husband and I were engaged and mostly living together in the late 90s. During this time, my husband drank crappy beer and his farts were horrible smelling. He would laugh and move on with idle threats of doing a Dutch oven, which he never did because beep would go down and I'd win. Even though I told him how horrible his farts were, he continuously kept farting around me with really bad, not normal farts. I would ask him to seriously think about how bad he smelled and try to move away from him. My warnings or pleading didn't sink in. So, in retaliation, I know that drinking a certain packaged soup makes me gassy and have horrible farts. My husband went out of town for a business trip and asked me to pick him up from the airport upon his return. Before picking him up, I ate a ridiculous amount of this soup. As I drove to the airport, a fart happened in my tiny enclosed car and it was absolutely, perfectly raunchy. I pulled up to the airport and he got in the car. I then locked the windows and started driving while letting my farts rip. He smelled my first fart and was a little worried. We kept driving and he was clawing at the windows to let him out, or at the very least, let some fresh air in. I shared with him that my farts are similar to what his were. I didn't have to spell it out. He begged and pleaded that if I opened the windows, he would never fart around me if he was able to control it. This was over 25 years ago. I have not had to buy that packaged soup since. OP, that's the perfect revenge. Thank you all for tuning in today. I'm done babbling. That's all I have for you. If you liked today's episode, please don't forget to share and subscribe, hit that like button, and keep your buzz going. Catch you next time.